Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning on this very, very cold winter's day. I hope you're all staying warm and you're staying safe. And thank you very much for joining us this morning on the Sage 300 People webinar session. So guys, first of all, I just want to introduce myself. I'm Nicoline Koster. I'm one of the sales managers at Sage and responsible for 300 people. Also joining me today as a presenter is Jonathan Lindeke.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Jonathan Lindeke, and I'm the pre-sales consultant or product specialist on Sage 300 People.
Thank you very much, Jonathan, for joining us today. And I think he will give us a presentation on the payroll system specifically. And if you've got all your difficult questions that you want to ask today, today is the time to ask them. Then just to give you some background on 300 People, it's an integrated HR and payroll system, and it's there specifically to drive growth, increase productivity, and empower your people. Now, you can just by looking at the agenda, we are going to cover a few aspects in the presentation today. Basically starting off with the introduction to Sage 300 People, understanding the capabilities of the system, the integration capabilities, just some of our customer testimonials that we'd like to share with you as well, and then the features and modules that's available on the system. The migration process will also be discussed and how easy it would be to migrate from your current Sage legacy system onto 300 People. Just a little bit of background as to our support structure and also how it has been digitized and how it changed to assist our customers, especially in today's times. Some of our training options we've got available on the product, and then obviously the live product demonstration. And then afterwards, we'll have a Q&A session. What I would like to ask you is to please type in all your questions. On the right-hand side, you'll see that there's a heading that says questions. Please type in your questions there, and then we'll answer them towards the end of the presentation. And yeah, if there's anything you'd like to know, obviously we will also share our email details at the end, so you are welcome to ask as we go along. Before we start, I would just like to play everyone a little short video clip of Sage 300 People. So sit back, relax, and have a look.
Looking to transform your organization's HR and payroll? Here's how. Access and manage a single consolidated view of all your employee records with up-to-date information from multiple locations. Empower your employees with intuitive self-service and streamline key processes with integrated HR and payroll, all in one powerful solution. With regular statutory updates that help you manage compliance, ensure security, stability, and improve payroll processes. Reduce complexity and remove payroll stress, and empower your greatest asset, your people. Stay in control and always connected to your business. That's how you transform your organization. This is Sage 300 People.
All right. So Sage 300 People can be deployed on-premise or in a private cloud environment. And this is very, very important to know because we are living in a completely different time the last few months. So businesses overall, in general, had to adapt to be able to manage their employees and workforce, better. And to be able to access the system in the cloud is obviously a very, very big advantage and so important in today's time. So obviously, we are here to help you, and we're here to assist you in your journey of working remotely and to streamline your systems and processes. So Sage 300 People offers you an agile, cost-effective and innovative solution with world-class capabilities And just some of the features I'd like to highlight today is obviously the fact that it's very flexible, it's scalable, and intelligent automation, security, stability, and improved processes. As mentioned before, we're very strong in Africa and in some of the other Asian countries in the world, and we are legislative compliant. Empowering your employees, that is also very important. Those of you who've seen the system before, we also have an employee self-service portal where employees and managers can access the system in the cloud to be able to apply for leave, to performance reviews, etc. So that will then move some of the responsibility away from managers and from HR administrators to the employees. All right, so just to put everything on the screen so you can see, obviously the last thing that I'll that is listed there is insights into what's happening in your business and the ability to anticipate change. Now, I think it's always important if you have a system, you need to be able to get information out of the system, and it's always, it doesn't help you've got this very, very customized system and you can never get information out. A system needs to be user-friendly in order for you to extract it and to be able to do analytics on the data that you've got. All right, so some of the integration capabilities of the system is obviously to improve productivity. And we've got multiple systems with seamless integration. So just to quickly focus on a few, we've got obviously Office 365, then Netcash, which used to be the old Sage Pay. We just renamed that. A Sage Skills Map, which is the recruitment system. Sage Evolution, and Sage 300 is the accounting systems that also has a seamless integration into 300 people. There's also APIs available that can be used to integrate into global HR systems, like, for example, Workday, SuccessFactors, etc. And you can also use the APIs to integrate into a time and attendance system or clocking system to integrate hours. As we go along and we find out what is the need from our customers, we will expand on our APIs to be able to integrate into more systems out there. Sage footprint in Africa is quite big. We've got over 64,000 payroll customers currently using Sage products, with more than 12 million payslips in South Africa per month. So it's quite a significant number. Sage has obviously been in the market for many, many years. I've got over 30 years experience, and we're covering more than 44 African countries currently. We plus minus have 70% market share in South Africa. I think when you invest in a company, it's important to know what is the strategy and what is the long-term solution for you as a business, and Sage can commit into giving you a product and to growing with your business as you grow throughout the years. So why Sage 300 people? We've completed many implementations for customers, and it varies in size and complexity. So it doesn't matter if you're small or a big organization, the system is scalable, so we will be able to set it up for you depending on your specific requirements. So payroll and HR is 100% what we do. The flexibility of our product ensures our users a perfect fit. And the fact that we've got a direct relationship with SARS gives Sage 300 people profound understanding of future legislation. And then also obviously the skills and knowledge that we've got in specific industries regarding bargaining councils and vertical markets. Some of our customers they have testimonials and just some of their feedback regarding what they think of the system. And I'd like to maybe share the testimonial of Marlies from Mango Airlines. I would absolutely recommend Sage to any organization. They have become a partner to us and not just a supplier. Their after-sales support is amazing, and they definitely brought savings to our bottom line. We have many customers that obviously had a very positive experience, and we've actually assisted them in being more productive and also being able to have a better view on their workforce, and by that you'll be able to save and be more cost effective as well as a business. So some of the product modules and that we offer, or that Sage 300 offers, is it, as I've mentioned, it's a full HR integrated payroll and employee self-service solution. So the modules that we will be covering today is from a payroll side, is obviously our job costing, general ledger integrations for the payroll journal integration, your leave management, as well as there's additional modules that you will be able to purchase in addition to the standard modules. But I think the fact that Sage 300 is an integrated payroll, HR, and ESA system on a SQL database means that the service or the maintenance of the system is so much easier as opposed to the legacy systems out there. You don't have separate companies to maintain or update parameters or update a medical aid or update a provident fund percentage. You do it once, and whoever is linked to that specific method will automatically be updated. So you'll be able to have consolidated reports of multiple companies on the payroll, and it just makes your life as an HR or payroll administrator so much easier. I've got one employee record for life, which means that if you've got employees, especially in our farming and our construction industry, that you've got a lot of employees that leave and they come back, you have to reload all the information. So that takes quite a lot of time. With Sage 300 people, you can actually just reinstate that record, and automatically there will be 2 tax records created for that employee. So to save a lot of time from an administrator from that view. One version of the truth, which means that you've got all your HR and payroll information on one database. So HR don't have to integrate into a system before payroll can do any updates, because it's on one database. It is one version of the truth. The feature that actually stands out the most for me is the fact that it's got unlimited history. So from the date that you start using the system, you'll be able to see history of every single employee, meaning the job title, the different managers, the promotions, if they changed in salary, if they changed anything, you'll be able to see it on the screen at a glance. So the fact that you with legacy systems were limited to the current tax year and you had to restore a backup if you'd like to consolidate specific reports, is something of the past on 300 people, because it just makes it so much easier. And then the thing that we are all so pedantic about in today's times is obviously the security. And because it integrates into Active Directory, we can set up very complex security measures, and obviously you can also set it up to field level, which means that a payroll administrator would think it's a payroll system, and an HR person would think it's an HR system based on the roles and the security that's set up on the system. And that's very, very nice, especially if you want to hide some of the fields. You don't want certain people to not see everything, or you do want everybody to see everything. Depends on what is your specific policy in the company. Okay. So additional modules that we also offer is Skills Map, which we've mentioned before, is a recruitment system that integrates into 300 people. We've got a report writer, which is our Sage Intelligence, and then we've got a budgeting and modern workflow module as well. So just quickly, just to recap, we've got a full payroll capabilities that includes your job costing, general ledger, leave management, and then we've got full HR module capabilities that will include personnel management, skills management, employment equity, job management, as well as performance management. Some of the modules will also show you just a glance and a preview on that, and all the nice features on that will also be displayed today. especially now that we are moving electronically and everybody wants to digitize their business. It's very important to be able to upload all documentation for employees, and the ability to access that very easily is also very important in today's times. The last portion on the screen is obviously your Sage Self-Service, which is the portal I mentioned earlier on for your employees and your managers to access, and then apply for leave and view their payslips as they need to. All right, so just some quick steps in how the migration process works. If you're currently using a Sage product, there is a conversion tool that we have written to migrate all your fixed and employee financial information for the current tax year. And that just smooths the process so much easier. It makes it a lot quicker for you to migrate to a new system. Okay, our support structure. This has changed quite a lot in the last few years because we want to stay relevant in the market. We have digitized our support structure quite a lot as well. There's how to options available within the application. We've got a Sage City community, which is a platform that you'll be able to access 24/7 if you want to get any information regarding the system or assistance to what the industry is also experiencing. We've got a full knowledge base, which is documents and videos that you'll be able to access, together with the system if you need that at any stage. What is quite popular is our live chat function within product as well, so you can have questions answered, instantly by a support consultant, and then also our support portal and web forms that is available if you'd like to contact us through the help desk. All right, so some of our resources, we've got quite a large number of qualified 300 people consultants, and over 60 plus accredited partners in 25 African countries, and 1 million combined man hours experience. So this just shows that we have also a very, very big ecosystem out there. So it's not just Sage anymore doing the support and implementations. We, in the payroll industry, have also followed or adapted an indirect model, which means that we've got certified partners out there that will assist you and build that relationship with you as a customer should you decide to migrate going forward. And then very important is obviously the training options that we've got available on the system. There is e-learning that's available, which is online training that you can do at your own pace, at your own time. And then there's classroom or virtual training, which will be done by a presenter. And very popular, I have to say, especially now during these times, because everybody cannot always go to a classroom or attend classroom training, but they still like to have that interaction with a presenter or with a trainer, and that's why the virtual training is quite popular especially over the last few months. Okay, so without any further ado, I'm going to hand over to Jonathan so that he can quickly take us through the system and show us all the nice features and functionality about the system. So hold on one second.
Thank you very much, Nicoline. I just want to quickly share my screen to all the people. Okay.
Fantastic.
Just confirm for me, can you see my screen?
Yes,
I'm sharing.
Yes, Jonathan.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Nicoline. All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you for attending. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you quickly through a product demonstration, show you what typically the payroll will look like in Sage 300 people. So the screen that you're looking at now, this is the 300 people application. Now on the left-hand side, that is your navigation pane. So that's how you can navigate through the system. We have your system health indicators, some licensing information, and then also a news feed. So if there's any new updates for any legislation, especially in the recent times with all the COVID and changes that was brought out, you will see all the details in there, and then you'll be able to click on all the links there and read up on all the changes for all the Mauritius, Tanzania, or whatever is applicable to your payroll. But on the left-hand side, you can see there's quite a number of menu items available. The reason being is I'm logged in as a super user. So 300 people has a role-based security down to field level. So when I log in as a payroll administrator only, I typically will only see 2 or 3 menu items on the left-hand side. So it will be very clean for all the users. Just me as a super user, I can see literally all the modules there because I can do all the changes in the application. But if I go to, for example, employee management, if I expand that menu item, you'll see there is employees. That is how I can view all my employees in my entire database. So it's not company-wide or something like that where you go in a company and view only the employees in the applicable company. You can view all the employees depending on your security access in the entire database. Then we have history payslips, like Nicolene mentioned as well. Unlimited history is very crucial. So from my live system, I can quickly log in. I can go to history payslips, and I can print a payslip from March 2011 when we started this payroll on the system. So I can literally see all the payslips that was produced there. I can see the tax calculation for specific employer if I need to. Then we also have recruits. Now, recruits is if you want to load candidates that's not employees yet, but you want to be able to produce dummy payslips for them, and you want to onboard their information just as a prerequisite maybe, then you can load all those candidates as recruits. They don't form part of your employee account or your reports or anything like that, but this will enable you to go and print dummy payslips for those candidates to say, if an employee wants to net 20,000, you can then put in the 20,000 and then as a net salary, and the system will gross everything up for you, including the taxes, the medical aids, whatever structure or compensation structure you have set up in the system. So that is quite a nice feature. And then if you have a candidate or a recruit that is now becoming an employee, there's simply just a button to click to say employee recruit, and then the employee will form part of your active employee account as well. So if I go into my employees, I will double click in there. You will be able to see now, this is my employee search screen, what we call. So in here, I will be able to go and say, okay, what company do I want to view? So I can click on this drop down there right at the top, and you can see I've got 3 South African companies and 1 Mozambique. So you can literally, as I said, you can see all the companies with all the different legislations, and you can also see the currency in there as well. I know one question in the chat box now was, do we have Zimbabwe in a US dollar payroll? So yes, the answer is yes. So when you click on your drop down, you will be able to see your Zimbabwe company there with the currency USD instead of the local currency there. But then when I select my different companies in the countries, then I will be able to go to company rules. Now this is how you want to split your payroll. So if you have within your company, you've got different pay-as-you-earn entities, you can split them by company rule. Or if you want to split out executives into their own payroll, or you have a job costing company here and you've got a weekly payroll there, this is how you can split your payrolls even further. So I can say, I want to view all my payrolls in the company one. All that I do now is click on search, and then I've got 122 active employees in my search grid here. So then again, it's all my employees all in one, and you don't have to go in and out at a particular company. I can also apply a search box here to, if I want to search for a specific employee by any name, surname, etc., you can just type it in there. Or what you can also do, this is user specific. So I can go and right click on any of the headed columns there, and we've got an option called column chooser. So if I go to column chooser, and we've got a whole different columns that you can also bring into this grid for you. So if you want to be able to see the departments, I can drag and drop it right there. My department, I want to view my employees ID number, I can drag and drop it right there. And let's say we want province as well, I can just drag and drop it in there. So now I can go and search by ID number. If I need to put in an ID number, I can just search for an employee, and there we go. We've got that employee. And remember, this is throughout your entire database. You can also sort per department, per date engaged, however you want, or I can just drag and drop it. So let's say I want to group it per department. Just as a search screen, I can just drag and drop my department there at the top. And now quickly, I've got all my employees who's in the admin department, all the employees in the consulting department, finance, etc. Now, to get information out of a system is quite important. So everywhere in the system where there's a grid like this, we call this like a grid, you can go and right click, and I can go to the top and there's export to Excel, or you can take it to PDF. So just to show you, if I click export to Excel and I call this employee list, EMP list, it will immediately open up this report in Excel with all the columns that I've brought in with the sorting and the grouping that I've applied. So there you can see there's a very quick report of my entire company per department, and I've got all the details, the name, surname, all the details in a quick Excel extract for you. So that's how easy it is to get information out of the system. Now, if I want to work on a specific employee, let's say I want to work on this employee 001, Stephen, on the left-hand side under actions, you see this is now all the screens that I can access for a particular employee. So if I go to employee detail, for example, that is the master file data of your employee, your static information, your address details, name, surname, all those kinds of things. Then contracts and benefits, you'll be able to see the employment contract and also the attachment of that contract. So I'll be able to open up all the contracts that we've ever given the employee if we've attached all those documents. Then I can also see the payslip detail, which is the physical payroll for the employee. Then I can view his tax, and also I can go to his personnel file or personnel management folder. And that is also where you can have full document storage on a lot of transactions and items for a particular employee. So all that you do is you click an employee, and I can decide which screen I want to access. So quickly, let's access the employee details screen. And it will take you now again into the master file details of the employee. You can see the employee's photo there. You can see if the employee is linked to a position, who did they report to in your company, what is the date engaged, and you can see we've also got a date joint group. So quite important for long service awards or anything where an employee moves between entities, but they still remain in your group or holding company. You can retain the date joint group for long service awards and leave calculations, etc. And then if you go to the bottom here, you can see we have something called hierarchy structure. So this is where you can go and design all the hierarchies that you want to, and it's unlimited. You can design your branch, business unit, cost centers, departments, pay points, provinces, regions, whatever you want to, you can design and as a hierarchy structure. And this becomes important for reporting purposes and also costing purposes, where I want to be able to report on my whole payroll. I want to see all the employees in East Africa, for example, or the SADC region, or all my employees in the finance department at the Durban branch, as an example. So it becomes a very easy to slice and dice your reports like that, and costing purposes as well for your general ledger purposes. Then if I go to the tab there right at the top, there's basic information. So this is your name, surname, last name, and again your ID number. So in the system, you've got one employer record for life, and that's typically attached to your ID number or passport number. So if I put in the ID number, you won't be able to load an employee twice. So if an employee gets terminated and they come back after 6 months or the next season, if you've got seasonal workers, you simply can, you'll see there's a button at the top that's now grayed out, which is reinstate. So you can reinstate that same employer record. All the history that I have on Stephen, all the documents that I've ever attached, the disciplinaries that I have will be again on his profile. So I can have the same employer record, same employee code, and I can just reinstate that employee, and the system will then automatically create a new tax record for that employee. Then you can see we also have a do not reemploy button. Now this is if you want to flag an employee to not be reemployed. Let's say you dismiss an employee and they go to another branch perhaps, and you've got another HR department there. They go through the interview process. He knows what he's talking about, as an example, but as soon as they try to onboard the employee, maybe as a recruit or something, they'll be able to immediately pick up to say, do not reemploy this employee, and then they will be able to go and see what is the reason, is there any disciplinaries, or what happened during the offboarding process. And then there's further details. There's all your address details, contact details, banking details. There's generic fields, so you can go and add your own custom fields if you want to, permits. Just a note, the system does have notifications and triggers built into the core. What that basically means is if I load this employee's passport details and I put in the passport expiry date, I can quickly put in a trigger or a notification to say 6 months or 4 months before the passport expires, please send an email to the employee's manager and also to HR to notify them that the employee's passport is expiring. Same with any work permit, residency permit, basically anything with an expiry date in the system. You can set up those notifications and triggers so that you can automate a lot of the reminders and triggers in the application so that HR doesn't have to remember every time when an employee needs a new passport or driver's license, or they're going to even forfeit their leave. You can set a trigger notification. If I'm going to forfeit leave, please let me know 3 months in advance, so I get an email as well as my manager gets an automatic email to say, dear Jonathan, you're going to forfeit your leave in 3 months. Please take your leave that's on your carryover annual leave line, as an example. Then if I go back to the tab there at the top under employees, let's go into, I can now go into the payslip detail. Now remember, this is the payroll again, so I can see the physical payslip information of this employee. Now, this is again user specific. So if I'm Jonathan logged in as a user and I only want to see on my summary screen there on the left, I only want to see earnings and deductions. I can untick company contributions, and then I can only view very nicely my earnings and deductions and my net salary there at the bottom. Now you can again right click and you can go to column choosers and you can pull in different columns that you want to view. That is your own preference, how you want to structure your screens. Then if I go to earnings, it's unlimited earnings on the system, unlimited deductions. There's no limit, so you can have as many earnings or deductions as you want. And you can see there's also space if you want to capture units like kilometers or overtime, where you can capture the hours. If I've captured overtime, I can see that there's 20 hours for the employee. I can physically double click there and I can see who captured it, what was the user, when was it worked. You can go and see there was 2 transactions of 10 hours each. That makes up the 20 hours as well. So it gives you all the details there. We also have a fixed column that is for all the information. If I put something in there, like let's say I put in a 4,000 commission there, that 4,000 will be there every single month if it's in the fixed column. We can also have a recurrence amount to say only pay this amount once every quarter, or only on the birthday month, or only in December. You can decide, so you can set up any recurrence that you want. And also we have the once-off amounts. So if I put in a lump sum amount here of 50,000 as an example, when I roll over into my next period, that 50,000 will then clear out, and then it will revert back to 0. So that is how that works. I can also go and refresh. So just to show you, if I put in something, let's say I put in a travel allowance of 20,000, and if I click on tab, the system immediately calculates all the taxes, etc. So it's not like other systems out there where you have to capture all the details, and then after capturing you have to do a payroll run to calculate all the taxes and everything, and then print reports. This application is online real time. So as soon as I do my captioning, you can see there my pay as you earn has changed. I'll be able to see all the green icons where all the information has changed just because I've entered that 20,000 travel allowance there. And I can easily save it, or I can just go and refresh and it will take it out whatever I've captured. So there's all my earnings, there's all my deductions. Right at the top, you can quickly print a payslip if you want to. Also, we've got a 12-month history or a history report. So on any employee, you can quickly go to the payslip. You can print a 12-month history, 24-month, or even a complete history. And this will show you the complete history for this entire employee, all the earnings, deductions, all the payroll items. So that's a quick way of getting all the information as well. There's company contributions. We have provisions as well. So you can set up calculations for your leave provision, bonus provisions, etc. And just to touch on calculations, the calculation builder is similar to Excel, so where you can build in if statements and date differences and put in those formulas, so you can do similar calculations as you would be able to do in Excel. So the calculations can become very powerful, so you can automate as well a lot of the calculations as well, and take away those Excel sheets that you always have on the side in order to calculate bonuses or commissions or those type of things. You can have the system calculated for you in the application. Then there's your additional screen for any additional information you want to keep track of and report on. For taxes, there's my tax screen. So from beginning to end, from the employee's age, you'll see the whole tax calculation. So if you've ever done any tax course or anything, you will recognize this whole long tax calculation. That's the exact calculation that is required. So you can go and view how the taxes are calculated. I can easily go and right click, again, export to Excel, or I can take it to print preview and I can email this quickly. I can print it to PDF, or I can email this quickly as a PDF to somebody else, and it will email straight out of the system. Then there's job cost or job costing detail. There's cost center allocation, so you can split employees' costs between 2 different cost centers. You can also do cost allocation between 2 or 3 different hierarchies. So there I've got 3 hierarchies, which is projects. So I've split this employee's cost between the 3 different projects through my cost allocation. We also have a net pay split option where you can split the employee's net salary into 2 or more bank accounts, especially for your expatriates where they want a certain amount in a US dollar account and the rest must be in local currency. You can split those employees' net salaries. And then the rest of the screens are basically your basic conditions of employment screens, your total screens, tax total screens. So if you need to look on ETI, for example, you'll see how many months did an employee qualify for ETI. Is there a reason why it's not qualifying? You can see all the details, even savings and loans. Is there a loan over the employee? What's the outstanding balance? All those details there. And also in adjustments, you can always go and make a backdated adjustment. So if I forgot to pay the employee's commission last month, I can quickly make a backdated adjustment so that in the report it can reflect as a payment for last month, but the effect will be in this month as well. So you can also do backdated adjustments. So that's basically the payroll on the payroll side. Again, unlimited lines, and also you can see you can manually capture here, but you can import anything through Excel. So you can have a massive Excel workbook for all your companies, and you can import all the items through Excel. It's very, very easy to get information in bulk into the application. Then if I go back to employees, the last screen I quickly want to touch on is personnel management. So this is your personnel file. Now, if I have a look here, I can see there's a couple of screens. We've got affiliations and membership. So if an employee needs to belong to a union or a bargaining council or bargaining unit or anything like that, you can load all the details in there. So I can see this employee belongs to a professional body there and also to a gym. So I can double click on this gym and I can see all the fees, the details that they joined. And again, there's under content, I'll be able to see this gym contract or whatever you've attached. You can also attach not only documents, you can attach videos if you want to. So as an example, if I go to disciplinaries, these are my disciplinary cases and all the incidences relating to that case. So if I open up the first case, I can see then back in 2012, there was a disciplinary hearing. It was misconduct. So I can go into the first incident and I can see, all right, what happened back in 2012 for Stephen? Stephen damaged the company projector. So what did Stephen say? Stephen maintained that it was already broken before he used it. Of course, he said that. So then you will be able to see what is the outcome from the application. You can also print a notice of hearing or written warning with the details in there. And then if I go to my content tab, you'll be able to see all the content, all the signed paperwork, video clips, whatever you've attached on this incident, you'll be able to attach here. So if you ever have a labor issue or you need to go to the labor court, everything is on one place, in one place. You can see all the transgressions that an employer might have had against him. So you have all the proof and evidence here. Then any discussions you might have, initial interview discussions, exit interview discussions, very importantly. So if an employee leaves the company, it's important to know what's the reason for leaving. So you can see there, what is the reason for leaving? And also, if you need to add another reason, you can see if you have access on the fly, you can quickly add your own reason for leaving as well. So let's say there's a new reason for leaving, which is, let's say, COVID-19. I can quickly go to edit, I can create new record, and I can type in COVID-19 as an example. So that's how easy it is to create stuff as well. So you don't always need to rely on support or get a consultant to help you. You can help yourself with this application. It's very easy. Then under general transactions, you can use this for anything that you want. If you send employees polygraph tests or whatever the case is, again, you can load all the details there. Items issued, so all the assets that you give employees, you can load here. You can give even somebody in IT access to just this particular screen on employee level, so that when they hand out laptops to employees, they can go and issue the laptop here, the dates, by who is it issued, what is the stock number, the serial number on that laptop, should it be returned, when should it be returned, And also I can attach any photos of the condition of the laptop or anything like that you can attach there. There's medical transactions, injuries on site or on duty, any prior learning that an employee might have, so prior learning that employee has undergone, any qualifications. So with qualifications and prior learning, you can also do what we call a suitability gap report. So if you have all the positions and job descriptions set up in the company, and if you're looking to say who's going to be the next successor for our CEO, you can then print a suitability gap report and select the CEO position, and the system will have a look at all that's required in the CEO position that you set up. What is the skills required, tasks required, qualifications, etc. And the system will then pull a suitability gap report for you and give you those top successes that has the correct qualifications or is the nearest to the qualifications needed and skills needed for a CEO. So you can also use that. Then in terms of training, there's all the training that's loaded for a particular employee. So if I want to load a new training course or training record, I can simply go to click on new record. I can say I want to send this employee on Friday for a training course. This training dictionary will be your training dictionary. So I can say I want to send him on a black belt training course, and it's going to take 4 hours. And I can also see the direct cost there. So the system will be able to calculate the costs as well as the rate per hour included in those costs as well, because the employee will be away. Then you can add in ad hoc costs as well. So if I open up the screen a bit, I can add in, if we have to provide a meal for the employee, I can add a meal there of 200, etc. And you can also keep track of different subjects. Bursary information, so if it's company sponsored training, should there be a buyout amount, when should the employee work back to, and also again content, you can attach all the content in there. Then I can just refresh if I don't want to save that, and then if there's any vehicles, you can link an employee to a company vehicle here. So that is basically just a very, very high level in terms of payroll, where you have the master file data, you've got your payslip information, you've got your personnel file. So what I want to quickly end off with is just touch on the reporting, which is very important. So if I go to my menu, I've closed all my screens, I can go to my reports menu. And just to show, there's a couple of ways of doing reports in the system. First of all, the first one is the all reports. So the normal reports that's standard in my all reports menu. Now you can see there's at the top all my audit reports. If I expand, I've got different audit reports, I've got different custom reports, different employee reports. Now when you purchase the system and install it for the first time, there's over 200 standard reports here. So there's quite a magnitude of different reports that you can use. But what is also great is you can go and copy and customize a report as many times as you want. So there I've got a simple strength report. I can now click on copy this report as many times as I want, and I can call it something else. I can add in then any photos or whatever I want to in formulas in the report, and you'll be able to go into the report designer and customize it even further. Any of these reports that you have here can be automatically printed and emailed. So if IT requires an audit report of all the users in the system every month, I can say on the last day of the month, please send the audit detail and audit log sheets to the IT department at 6 a.m. or let's make it 5 a.m. in the morning, so they think you're up early working and printing the reports for them, but in actual fact the system just printed it himself. Then you can also schedule the costing reports and variance reports to the finance department and the CFO and send those reports, let's say at 11 p.m. at night, so they think you're working late as well. So you can automatically schedule all these reports that you want to. Then we also have what we call dynamic reports. This is more Excel-based reports. So there's also a couple of standard reports there. For example, you've got headcount reports, leave balances reports, movement reports. And again, you can go and copy this report. If I copy a report and I go into the report designer, just to show you, so I've copied the movement report. Now I've opened up the report designer, and this will look similar to Excel. You've got your columns and rows. And then right at the top, I can go and insert maybe a pie chart or bar chart. I can go to formulas. I can build in my different financial formulas or data lookup formulas. So this is how you can also go and customize further reporting. And if I go out. Then my favorite report is under Financial Analyzer, we have the payroll analysis. So if I close the screen and I go into my payroll analysis, this is for me the easiest, and this is very easy to slice and dice your information. So right at the top, you can go to view type and say, okay, what type of report are you looking for? Are you looking for employee detail, company detail, or are you looking for a pure variance report? Let's say, for argument's sake, we want a report of overtime. We see there's a big spike in overtime over the last 4 years for the month of May. So we want to compare, we want to pick up if there's a trend. Now, typically that might be a difficult report to create on your own, but just to show you how easy it is, I can go and select, okay, I want to view employee detail. Then for what company do I want to view? I want to view it for company 1001. For what company rule? And as you can see, I'm just making selections, tick boxes. I'm just ticking the tick boxes that I want to view. You're not putting any code or anything like that. I can select the main pay run, my special pay run, or annual bonus. Let's just say I want to select my main pay run for now. And as easy as that, you can come to payroll line items, and under earnings, I can expand earnings and I can select overtime there. That's how easy it is. Or I can select salary or travel, or if you want all earnings, all deductions, you can simply just select the boxes there. Let's say for now, for this demo purposes, I want to view the salary cost. I want to see if there's a big cost in my different over the last 4 years. Then I select salary cost. Then if I go to hierarchy filters, again, why I said this was important is because you can slice and dice per hierarchy. So there's all my hierarchies. Now, if you want to view it per province, per project, or per department, I just tick department, and now it will group it per department. And then on pay period, you can leave it on live period. It will show me all the details for the current month, or I can easily go and say, I want to view it from January to December 2019, 2018, or you can easily say July to June. You can choose, there's no limit. I can say there the last 36 months or even the last 72 months, you can decide, or I can go into specific periods. Now, if I go to specific periods, I can see I've got from 2011. If I scroll right down, this is May 2020, so this is my live period. So let's compare May 2020 with May 2019, sorry, May 2018, and May 2017. So 4 years. I can quickly like that. And you can see there, this has taken me 30 seconds to create. You can also pre-save this now. If I want to print this again, I can click on preview, and now it will display in what we call a pivot style report. So you can drag and drop this pivot, how you want to make it view, and you can also go and save your layout. So I want to take that out, and I want to take the code out, and I want to add totals at the bottom. So now easily I can just go and right click collapse, and I've got a very quick chart of the salary cost over the last 4 years for the month of May, grouped per department. And I can then easily go and save this layout, or I can go to print and export. I can print it, or I can export it into Excel if I want to. So I hope this gives you an idea of just the power of this application, and also the ease of use, of how easy it is to get what you want and to get the reports that you need. I think let's go over to the questioning side, because I don't want to bombard you with too much information, and just I see we've got about 7 minutes left. So I think let's go quickly to the questions. Nicolene, if that is all right with you, and then we can attend to the questions.
Yes, no, absolutely. We can definitely do that. I just want to add to what Jonathan has said. I mean, you can all see that writing reports and getting information out of the system and getting it in a specific format is quite easy, and you don't have to be a report expert to be able to get that information from the system. So I also have to agree, this is one of my favorite reports as well, because it just displays so nicely and it's just so easy to generate the information. What we have also found, just in regards to the HR aspect, we've got an employee equity as well as a skills module in the application as well, which will then allow you to generate all the statutory HR reports that you require to submit for equity purposes. So that will include your EEA2 and your EEA4 for the Department of Labour, and then your skills reporting will be the reports that you need to submit your CETA to claim money back at the end of the skills year. Because this is an integrated HR and payroll system, you will be able to do that on this platform. And the system will automatically keep that history and data for you. So at any stage, if you would like to generate an employee equity report, employment equity report, you'll be able to do that at a click of a button. Jonathan, I was wondering if you could maybe just give us a quick glance of that report, just so that the viewers can see today how nice it is displayed on the system. Because I think for a lot of you guys that have been doing this and not making use of the modules, is quite a lengthy and tedious process if you have to do that manually.
Definitely, yes. So if I go to my left-hand side and I go to equity management, you can see there we can have an equity plan and also consolidated plan. So you can have as many different smaller individual plans, which is easier to maintain, maybe per department or per branch, and that can group up to your consolidated plan. And as soon as I go into my equity plan, you can go in at any given stage and you can quickly go and see, okay, where is my variance is to my actual plan? And you can see where have I recruited enough, and also where do I need to focus my recruitment on in terms of meeting our equity targets as well. So this is where you can manage your targets and set up all the targets and goals. But then if I go to my reporting side, and just as easy, I can go to my all reports and I can look for equity, and there is my EEA4, EEA2, and EEA13. So let's go and print the EEA4 as an example. So I can just select that, and I can select for what plan do I want to print it. So I don't want to print it for consolidated plan. I want to print it just for one plan. And you can also go and select the dates that you want. So let's just put in 1st of January 2018 to end of December 2018, just for now. And click on preview. The system will pop up now. There we go. It will calculate, make sure everything is correct. And there you go, in the Department of Labor's format, all the company details. And if I scroll right down, you've got your different workforce profiles. Everything will be printed in here with all the remuneration values, etc. So that's how easy it is to be able to print your equity reports.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is fantastic. I think a lot of the users today will agree with us that this is definitely a much easier approach as to doing this report manually. Then, Jonathan, one of the questions we also have is, can you track training on this system?
So definitely you'll be able to track training. You can track training on an individual basis. I will be able to have a look at my employees and see what training has been done by any individual employee. So I can go to Stephen's personnel file, have a look at his training, and then I can scroll through all my employees and see what training they've done or what is planned also. And then also in reporting side, we have different training reports where you can see training costs. And if I search just for training, you've got training cost reports, training list reports that you'll be able to print just in terms of all the training. And if you print any particular report, if I open up a report, you can see there's different filters that you can apply. So I can go and say I want all the training or all the completed training, or also I can put in additional filters to say, all right, I want all the training for just a particular branch. So I can say I want just a particular branch, and what branch do I want to view? If I go to branch, I just want the Johannesburg branch. And now this report will print all the training that has been completed and also not completed for the Johannesburg branch. And there's different ways of printing your reports for training, but you will be able to track it of all the training that has been planned for an employee and also the training that has been completed on an individual basis and also in reporting side as well.
That's fantastic. What we've also added is the fact that you will be able to apply for training through ESS as well, and just make that process of applying for training a little bit easier through the ESS portal. I think we've got time for one more question. I think something that we get quite a lot is the fact that how would you deploy the system, Jonathan?
So there's two ways you can deploy it. You can have the choice. You can have it on premise if you have the infrastructure. You can have it on your own servers, so you don't need internet access. It's on your own servers, and you can use the application, or you can use it in a private cloud or deploy it in a private cloud. So all that you would require is we will maintain then all the updates and backups, etc. You just need internet access, and then from wherever you are, you can log on to the URL, open the application, and do your payroll processing from wherever you are. So there's two ways of deploying the application. It's not just a pure cloud. If you wanted to have it on premise, according to your policies, you can have it on premise or in a private cloud as well.
Thank you very much. I think just to tell our users about all our customers that's joined today, we do have a special discount that we can apply should you want to make use of Sage's private cloud environment, where we can offer you a hosted environment at a discounted rate, but that can be discussed with your consultant individually. So please get in touch with us if you would like us to quote you on that. I think we can wrap it up because I see the time has just gone past 11 o'clock. Jonathan, thank you very much for the presentation. I think this was very insightful, and hopefully this system will be able to make your lives as customers a little bit easier going forward. So please get in touch with us. We will also send you some information afterwards, but please get in touch with us if you want to discuss this a little bit more and in detail, and if you want your own private demonstration free of charge, let us know and we will be happy to engage with you. But from my side, I would just like to say thank you very much. I think I'm going to end off here because, hold on one second. So thank you for joining us today, and have a fantastic week further, and please stay warm, keep safe, and yeah, good luck for the rest of the month, everybody.